Hi, I'm Shaz at Shaz Crochets. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I've started posting on YouTube recently, so thought I'd do an introduction into my little crochet journey. I started crocheting in 2021. My nan did teach me, well, try to teach me when I was 15 and when I was 8, but I just couldn't pick it up. It wasn't going in, didn't sink in. So later on in life, I tried again, and how I learned was by YouTube tutorials. So what I want to do is try and give something back to other people, because YouTube was a great way for me to learn. So I've started doing some YouTube shorts, and I'd like to start doing some long form content and showing people how I learned and the things that I've learned so far. So, you know, some of the stitches, ways to hold your hook, different types of hook, that sort of stuff. So that's my plan for my YouTube account, and I want everyone to feel welcome here. Please ask me any questions along the way in the comments, and if I can, I'll answer them, and if not, I'll try and direct you to people who can. So yeah, I started YouTubing crochet in 2021, and I started off doing some basic stitches like the single crochet. So here's something what I started off with. I then moved on and tried to do a granny square. I then done some snowflakes, because we all need some glitter in our lives. So it was white yarn, white glitter yarn, and I done some snowflakes. And I done a willow granny square next, and I kept going from there. So what I moved on to after I figured out how to do a granny square, how to do a couple of different types of granny square. I tried some toys, and I moved on to amigurumi, and I really enjoyed doing those. I still do those now. So what I make now is I make clothes, I make toys, I make household stuff. I do lots of different things because it has become a big hobby for me. It's a big support for the pain that I'm in, because I have chronic pain. I'll go into that a bit more later on about how it supported me. But yeah, so I moved on to amigurumi toys, and that was again using YouTube videos of how to. I then became a bit used to how to understand patterns, so I started using YouTube again to learn how to read a pattern. And once I got understanding of that, I then began to purchase patterns, and now I can read a pattern, and I've started to be able to write my own patterns. So that's something I'm going to be doing in the future. I've got a couple of patterns that I'm working on at the moment, and I will share those with everyone. I love freehand crochet. I've got a great enjoyment from looking at things and thinking I can make that, and making it from scratch and designing it myself. Really like freehand at the moment. I've made some toys freehand, I've made some bags freehand, and I've made some mittens freehand. So I am in the process of writing those up. I am also just trying to make a dress from scratch at the moment for a wedding that I've got in August. So keep an eye out and see how I get on with that, because I have no idea if that's going to be a finished piece or if it's going to be an unfinished whip forever. So what my plan is for YouTube is to share tutorials, to share my crochet journey, and eventually share patterns that I've made. I have made one of those red hats that are quite popular at the moment, the Norwegian caps, the resistance caps. I've got a video on. It is quite a basic short and it's quite fast, but it breaks down the steps of how I freehanded it. You can buy a crochet pattern and a knitting pattern, and the funds go towards, I can't remember what it is now, the person who's made it, but the funds, they're raising funds for refugees and towards immigration type stuff in America. So it's all for a good cause. But yeah, I enjoyed doing that hat, so that I've got a video on of that. I still do make some dolls, so here's one I've made. I also I've made blankets, granny square blankets, star blankets, and at the moment I'm making a temperature blanket, so I will update everyone each week on the temperature projects. I've got 2 ongoing at the moment. One's a snake and one's a blanket. I was just going to do a snake this year for my temperature project, but my daughter then said, well, can I have a blanket too? So now we've got a blanket too. I've always got whips ongoing each week. I'm always making something. I crochet every day. I've got other social medias. I post different stuff on the social medias. Some of it is the same, but there's more lightheartedness on TikTok. Instagram is more focused, and I don't do much on Facebook, but I do post now and again. But for YouTube, my aim is to share my journey and to share tutorials along the way. I've got a few shorts on of different things that I've done. So I've got single crochet, amigurumi single crochet. I've got decrease amigurumi. I've got increase. I've got a V-stitch on. So yeah, I've got a couple of little shorts, but I am going to try and do some more long form content and fill that out. I'm going to do things from scratch at the moment. I'm working on a pair of mittens, what I've designed myself. So I'm going to do a video of those and break it down step by step of how to make them and do the tutorial, and then I'll release the pattern. But it's all new. I'm in my early stages, so I'm going to make mistakes. But I'll get there, and there's so many things you can learn with crochet. There's so many different things you can make. It brings so much joy to so many people. Yeah, it's just a great hobby that I've become completely addicted to, and I love it. I love making wearables. I like making my own clothes. I like making clothes for other people. I've done baby stuff. Yeah, so that's the plan. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about me, because I'm not sure how much of my personal life I'm going to share on YouTube, but I might share little bits to let you know. So one of the things that I do on TikTok is things that stop me from crocheting. So that's an insight into my life and the other things that are in my life apart from crochet. So I am a SEN mum. I have been a SEN mum for 23 years. I've got 3 children who are autistic. Our youngest is profoundly autistic, and he has Pica too. So these are some of the things that you might come across on my journey that's private and personal to me. I'm married, I've got 4 children, I love my kids are my world. I'll do anything for them, and everything is about them. I am a dog mum. Love my dog, she's absolutely fabulous, best dog you can ever ask for. So yeah, that's my little family composition. I've got amazing friends, great support around me. You might see some of them, I'm not too sure, but you might do in some of the videos. I live with endometriosis. I have got endometriosis and pelvic congestion syndrome. So sometimes during the month, it's quite difficult for me to manage day-to-day activities. And this is where crochet has been an amazing thing for me, because it helps me manage my pain. It's a great distraction. I still feel like I'm being productive on the days where my body can't be as mobile as I'd like it to be and do as much. So crochet helps me fill that space that I need to fill, because I like to be active. I've also got an allotment, so you might see videos on that. I love Christmas. I love my family. I love food. Yeah, I love my food, so you might see some of that on here as well. I love coffee, so over on TikTok I do a coffee and crochet series, so I go to coffee houses. Oh, I'm also a home educating mum, so you might see little bits that are related to that too, but mostly it will be crochet. So if you've liked what you've seen, keep watching, and thank you. See you all soon. Bye.